Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay. So grab a brush, grab some paints, grab some models, and paint along with me. Let's rid our world of unpainted models. Yes. So, I have finished my first 40 Neophytes, and it's cool. So I'm working on my last 10 that arrived in the mail. So, yeah, today I'm going to work on them. They're pretty early on in their stages, but that's okay. I'm going to get as much done as I can in the hour, and we're just going to paint, talk some stuff. As always, huge shout out to Cody Rue. And Adam, Adam, you missed a spot. Let's get started. Okay, so here we go. We are going to be painting some, I'm painting the last 10 Neophytes. And as you can see, they're pretty early on the stages. I've just painted the skin tone. So today I'm going to start off by highlighting the skin tone with a little bit of, what's it called? Pallid Witch Flesh. Doing that on a few of them. And get the skin tones done, and then do a little bit of a cleanup on the suit, just where I need to. So right now I'm just doing a quick like overbrush slash a little bit of overbrush, dry brush, picking up on the raised surfaces, giving some texture to the skin, intentionally keeping some of the craziness. There we go. See, that looks good. That's all I want to do for the flesh. So I'm done the first 40. As you can see them, they're in the distance right there, which is really cool. I've been painting a lot. I should have filmed. What I've been doing is I've been having painting sessions, but they've been long time painting sessions, like a 20 minutes here, half an hour there, like a half step, you know, and there we go. Just a little bit of texture. It'll help blend the two tones for them, for the these Neophytes. Some of them have purple heads, so it just blends them more together. But look at that. That's an easy flesh. So far, my thoughts. I've painted, you know, about 45, maybe 50 models total using primarily contrast paints like these guys. I like them so far. It's been a fun experience. It's been a lot of fun. As I said, they work. I do use a couple other colors. I use True Metallics on them. I decided to use True Metallics because it just looked better. I used non-metallic on a few of them, and I did not like what they looked like at the end. So I decided, let's go True Metallics. So I use silvers and brass on them, which is okay. And then I'm doing a couple highlights of the flesh tones here and like the leather. I paint using paints because I don't have the contrast paints with them. Yeah, so as you can see, they're coming along. These are my last 10 Neophytes. So next, Painting with Jay, I should be painting some Acolytes. After this, I'm going to paint 20. And I did just order and receive, these guys were in a Start Collecting box set, but I got one and I'm like, you know what? I got to stop thinking about this, but I might want one more. I really like the Fast Attack, the Ridge Runners, and basically for 50 bucks I get a Ridge Runner, or for 100 bucks I get a Ridge Runner, squad of Acolytes, squad of Neophytes, and an HQ. The Start Collecting box sets are, so as you can see, it's really, really, like, that's way too, way too strong of a contrast between those areas. So this step will just kind of bring them back together, kind of dull them down, bring it to much more of a desirable, there we go. Much better. These paints, they work really well. But, sorry, as I said, for the Star Collecting box sets are such a good price, and has a lot of stuff that you could use. So it's like, oh, you buy one and you're like, I could use another one. So that's that. So now I'm just going to take some white paint. Here we go. Some white paint. Clean up a little bit of these areas that I've overpainted slightly. I do find that with these contrast paints is, of course, they bleed, as I've discussed a few times. They really do bleed into each other. And so, and then on top of that, if you don't have with some of the colors, if you don't have a perfectly, symmetrical surface underneath, it really shows. So I'm just going to clean up a couple areas that it bled over. So let's just look through, like right here, right? Take a little white, and just let's clean that area up a little bit, so that way when I apply the next color, it goes uniformly over the model. There we go. So there we go. One done. These, I'm not expecting this to be a very long task to paint these 10 up, since I painted the 40 in about 2 weeks. So these should last about a week, probably, at most. I'm going to see how much I get done today. I should definitely be able to get at least 1 or 2 colors done after this. For the next, we're only painting for 6 minutes in. But, yeah. As I said, I'm really enjoying painting this army. It's been fun to assemble so far. I've been using the contrast paints, and I've been using, for basing, I've been used the Astro Granite debris, and then just do a quick dry brush over them, and it really brings out the texture. And it's not bad. Like, I think they're definitely tournament-worthy models. They're not my craziest paint job of all the models I've painted so far in my army, but that's okay. It's been a fun task so far, and the contrast paints really do what they're designed to do, which is help somebody paint a large amount of models, with relative ease, and they're definitely doing that. They're definitely doing that. They are. My girlfriend's upstairs watching TV, and it's quite loud. I apologize if you guys can hear that, but that's okay. Yeah. I know what she's watching. I think it's a zoo show. Yeah. Interesting. But that's okay. It's an interesting time right now. It's a long weekend, so I figured I'm going to take some time. It's raining out right now, so I'm going to take a little time and do a little painting. All right? I've actually got a lot of yard work done this weekend, which is good, and we've been working hard on our house lately and the outside, and it's been good. I've had a very productive last couple days. I finally just took off my girlfriend's winter tires. They've been on since, I don't even know when, I think October. But, wow, look at these. So as you can see, they're not, it's going to be a pretty fun challenge to get these done, but I'm really enjoying so far Gene Stealer Cult. And by the time I get to play a game against my friend Dave, which we're discussing recently, when can we start playing again? Which is a good debate. It's a good discussion. We're not debating, we're just talking about it. Obviously, we don't fight about this kind of stuff. But, I don't know. That's a good question, When do we get back to our old normal, or is that ever going to exist? Now, obviously, we're going to play this game, because there we go. So that's done. So, next color. Let's take some Griff Charger Gray. Give it a good shake. And let's apply a color, shall we? So, this is always my second color that I apply, because it's the second lightest of the colors that I start with, and I just kind of, I do a combination of painting inside out and light to dark, because again, it's easier to paint over this color, because as you can see, it's a gray, but it's a bluish cold gray, but it's not that dark. So it's a great second color to paint on the model. And then after that, I'm going to paint a darker gray, and I should definitely be able to get to both of these colors today, because these contrast paints, as you can see, I only spend about, most of the colors, I find myself spending about a minute for each color, for each model, at least. In some cases less. Look at that. So there's one. And but as you can see, it's not going to be too hard of a process. So I should be able to get this color done, and then start the next color and get that done today too. But that's the Griff Charger. So that's the first part. Just make sure I cover everything, let it set, remove any extra pigments that are setting weirdly. And that's it. Next color. Let's, our next model, I guess. Obviously, yeah. One down. Next color. Next model, I mean. I've been really enjoying it. Also, these paints go for a while. Like, I know they're a little expensive. In Canada, I think they're like $10 $10 or $9.50 or something like that. They're on the more expensive side, but they're a little bit larger in size than the normal paint pot. But they really do last. I've painted so far, including these guys, so far 50 models using the same paint pots. And I still have plenty. Like I'm not even a third in, because they're so thin that the paint really, and if you think about it, it takes up multiple steps, right, for each one. But they really last. I do find that they really do last. Even my primary color, which probably the color I use the most is orange, is still I have plenty. Like I was thinking maybe ordering one during this pandemic, so that way I just have an extra one just in case, and I kind of forgot when I was doing my order. And I thought, oh, whatever, I'm going to run out of paint, and then I still haven't run out, and I'm not even close at the moment, so there's another one done. We'll see, right? It's hard to get some of the popular colors like Black Templar, but I really don't use a lot of black on these models. Their gloves and their boots are pretty much the black areas. And so it's not too much. I do use a bit of this Griff Charger Gray is what I tend to use a bit of, and the orange. The orange I definitely use a bit of. Yeah. What else? The dark gray a bit. But I'm really happy with the amount how far these things last. As I said, I'm thinking it may not. Now, if it doesn't, I'm okay with that. But it looks like right now that these pots of paint could last me almost my entire army. And if that's the case, that's awesome, right? Like one set of each color, and I paint my entire army. Nothing wrong with that. He's done too. Just gonna wash my brush. Yeah, that's not bad at all. And as I said, I'm just painting. Oop, dropped my palette, but it's a good shake. So far, yeah, I'm really enjoying these paints. They've been fun. It's a fun process. Took a little bit of getting used to. You know, getting used to how the paint behaves and the standard. I don't paint all using just contrast paints. As you can see the flesh, I just did a highlight as well. But, in a couple of other areas. But to me, this has been the simplest paint process of any army I've been painting so far. And it's cool. Like I'm really excited to have this army painted up to a okay standard and be able to play them. You know, be able to go to an event when they eventually happen again, and play this army without any fear of not being allowed to. Right? They're going to be painted to way more than the 3-color minimum standard. Yeah. Look it up. Good. Another one done. See? I bet if I wasn't talking, it'd even go in faster, but whatever. This is Painting with Jay. I'm supposed to talk. Yeah, we're definitely going to get some colors done today. And as I said, and then I'll build some acolytes. I've painted 5 acolytes so far to get a color scheme together, but they're the ones that come in one of the start, in the games. You know. So yeah. This brush is already splitting, so I'll probably have to do a cleaning session after and see if I can clean out the end of the brush and bring it back to life. 5 done. What else is new? Not much. I work, I come home, I do a little bit of housework. You know, we're working on the house, getting things, we're working on the gardens. It's starting to feel like spring. It does feel like this has been such a weird year because it's been so cold. So cold. And it's the May 2-4 Victoria Day weekend, so it's a long, not Victoria Day? I forgot what holiday it is. I think it's Victoria Day. And it's usually it's a long weekend, obviously. It is a long weekend, but it's usually nice and warm. Today was probably yesterday was the nicest weather of the weekend, I think. And then today was good too. So I took my motorcycle out. I went for a bit of a ride, did a bunch of gardening, you know. As I said, it's been good to catch up on things and get life in order. You know, eventually this stop on our lives will cease, and when it does, it's going to be good to get everything back to normal. Well, that's the only thing that's what I keep discussing with friends and family is, will it go back to normal, or what will normal be? I don't think it'll go back to exactly how it was before. I know my job probably won't be. This has been a catalyst for a lot of employers to make some changes that maybe were due to catch up with the times. But there we go. Another one done. So yeah, I don't know. It's been I hope your pandemic experiences have been going okay too. Hope everyone out there is staying healthy and safe. Who've been painting along with me and taking this time. As I said, just when you can't do much, might as well paint. Might as well. Because by the time this pandemic is over, I can go outside and go to parks and go for walks and go fishing, and I'm going to want to. And so it's going to take me a little bit of time away from my painting, obviously. And also I want to be playing, right? I want to be playing. I want to get together with my friend Dave and my friend Stu and play some games, especially with these newly painted models. I'm working hard. I got my AdMech army all done, and I really want to try them out, and I really want to try out this army when they're all done. I really do. So, yeah. I really do. And so, I know they're not the most competitive army at the moment, Gene Stealer Cult or AdMech, but they both be really fun to try out. I don't play armies just for the competitive nature. I just love the look of them and the fluff, and yeah, I want to try them out and play some games. There we go. So, all the Griff Charger Greys are done. Oh, sorry, one left. One left. And then we'll get this guy done. And then to the next color. That's a lot of paint on that. Let's just remove some. I said I want to prevent as much bleeding as I can, but it's okay to get one surface like where they connect, paint it with one color, and then just make sure the other color avoids it. But look at this guy. He's coming along. I just want to play. That's it. It's been so long. And obviously I didn't know that this pandemic thing was going to be coming. No one did. Would have gotten some games in beforehand. And so when I can finally get back to it, I'm going to be playing some games. I want to play in maybe a couple tournaments and events. Depending where you live. Like most of the things I come here to are called events because they're not tournaments. It's not elimination. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Usually it's for fun and what I play in. And you win prizes based on like raffles and stuff. And it you know, let's make sure that's in focus. Done. So Griff Charger Grey. So after painting, I've painted so far 60 models with this Griff Charger Grey. I don't know if you can see. Let's give it a good shake and see if I can settle it. The paint pot's up to about there. Yeah, there. So this paint's last. So now I'm going to take the next gray, which is Basilicanum Gray, and paint the some of the padding and the tubes. Let me make sure this is in focus, of course, because I think it is. I'm pretty sure this is in focus because it seems to be, yeah. Okay. So, I'm just going to paint these areas. With the Basilicanum Gray. And I'm going to paint the underside of the armor. Look at that. There we go. That's as you can see, these colors really just, it's been cool. These contrast paints really bring the model to life quickly. And they don't take up a lot of, it doesn't take a lot of time to paint per step, and it really looks pretty good. I like it. Look at that. That looks pretty good. And then I'll just quickly paint the tubing as well. pretty sure my girlfriend's watching a documentary on scorpions. Cool. Look at that. So already 2 colors down, or 3 colors down on this guy. He's 3 color minimum already. I wouldn't bring him to a tournament unless I had to with that state, but that's okay. Heck, by the end of this painting session, we'll see how many colors I have on them. What are we at? 25 minutes. But as you can see, like I've only been painting for 25 minutes, and they're definitely coming along. There we go. Look at this. These guys they're really fun. They're fun to paint. And I think I was wondering about how would I feel about painting, using these contrast paints, and I really like them. As I said, they're fun. They're not, you're not going to get the, best, you're not going to win the award for best painted army, but whatever. That's all good. Sorry, I'm just organizing these models by line so that I can know the order in which they were painted. But that's okay. Like, it's a fun method. I find it's just really efficient, and you know what? You leave feeling like you accomplished a bit of work, and as I said, it took me a couple weeks to paint 40 models. Not bad. And these are not orcs, so I'm gonna, they're not gonna have. This is gonna be. I intentionally want to start with all my troops because they will be the foundation of my army. And so I'm going to paint the troops first, get them all done, get all the troops done, and then once the troops are all done, I'm going to then start HQs. From HQs, I don't know, fast attack, lead something, just keep going. I was debating whether or not to take a week off from painting and just build all the models. Because it looks like I'll be painting, I don't think I'll be painting in models unassembled for any of these parts. So I could probably just, take a week or two, build every model in my army, which would be cool because if I'm playing a game that I'm not filming, I could then try them out, have some fun. I don't really play with unpainted models very often, but our goal is to, is to rid our world of unpainted models. But it'd be just fun to play them, and then one by one, then just paint. I bet if I'm doing a single model, like an elite, or because the Gene Zero Color Army has a bunch of elites that are just single models, like the Clamavis, and the Nexus, and the Clamavis and the Nexus are the ones I'm using the most. The Nexos, and there's a bunch of them. Sanctus. I believe I've already painted him. Yes. And they'd be fun, but I could probably knock one out in like 2 hours. My biggest problem is that I'd run out of painting space, so I probably want to paint 2 models at the same time. So that way, I just don't want to, like this color, for example, I want to wait till this color dries before I paint the oranges, for example. Because if I overpainted, I gotta wait for it to dry and then I can clean it up before I paint the next area so that there's not crazy bleeding between the areas. Now in this case, it doesn't look like I've really bled them over too badly on any of them so far, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to miss or add too much paint in the future, or be like Adam and miss a spot. Cool. Yeah. What are you out there in internet land? What are you most excited about when this blows over? if it blows over. It should blow over. Ontario is slowly getting back. So we're in stage 1, starting on Saturday, I believe. We're in stage 1 of the reopening, but it's going to be stages. And I do like the way. I'm not going to get into a debate here or anything, but I'm really liking the fact that we're going to take our time and make sure, because it is a disease and it's highly spreadable, and to me, I don't know, maybe because I'm not the most, I don't know, I'm okay with this situation, that I'm forced to stay home and paint a bit. To me, it's not the worst situation. I have several friends that are just anxious to get out and do stuff. I love being this introverted person that I can just paint and relax. And I'm still working, as I mentioned. I'm a frontline employee. I'm an essential employee, and I'm not really getting hazmat pay, so I'm not hiding in, you know. I do have to go to work 5 days a week. Whatever. But what are you most anxious for? I'm anxious to go play some games, you know, with all these new models. But it's given me a cool opportunity that I've been able to paint and just think. Now, there's a big GW announcement this week. There's a big announcement. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't have any idea. But they've been advertising it starting today. A big announcement next week. So, is it going to be the next edition? 9th edition? I wouldn't be shocked if it was. There's some rumored new Space Marine vehicles and stuff. New Primaris, like a Primaris Biker or Primaris Speeder. That some pictures have been out for. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm guessing it's 40k related. I think actually they already mentioned it's 40k related. And I'm guessing it's going to be huge. So maybe it's the next edition. Maybe I'm done playing 9th edition already, or 8th edition. Maybe I played my last game. We'll see. Then off to the next edition. Well, the next edition won't be filled as much with worrying about painting my armies, because I've spent a very large amount of 8th edition and 7th edition painting. I feel like I've gotten a lot more accomplished over the last 2 years for my painting. You know, like last year was Orcs, which was huge to me. Tyrannies was huge when I did that. Space Marines last year. This year was Grey Knights, AdMech so far, and will be Genestealer Cult, and then afterwards I have 5 or 6, maybe 10 Grey Knight models left to paint. Cool. And then yeah, I'm gonna just buy occasional models that I want to tweak or add up into my army, paint them, you know, the next day, not worry about my giant stack of models. These guys, originally I thought I should have them done by August. I give myself 4 months, so May, June, July, August. We'll see. Because based on the current, now I don't know if I'm going to be able to go at the current pace forever, because eventually the world will open up again, and you know, right now I'm just taking advantage of the time that I have free. But I should be able to paint a bit anyway, right? I'm still painting. When the world returns to normal, I'm still going to paint a bit. So, but right now I'm let's see, I only have about probably about 110 Genestealer Cult models that I'm going to be painting in this batch, or this challenge. 50, let's see, 50 Neophytes, 20 Acolytes, so we're up to 70, 10 Brood Brothers, so already I have 80 troop choices. Now, as I said, I'm still debating whether or not I want to order one more or start collecting, which would then throw in another, 22 models to paint. But so far I have 80 troop choices, of which this month alone I've already at 45 painted. And I will have these guys definitely painted before the end of the month. The Brood Brothers, we'll see. I might see if I can, but I'm probably going to paint Neophytes next. Or Acolytes, sorry, next. So next Acolytes. But, so I'll have my 50... Alright, no, let's keep going with models. How many do I have to paint? It's J counts models on Painting with J. So I have 80 troops choices. I have like 5 elites, 3 elites, 4 or 5 elites, 4 elites that I need to paint. I do have a bunch of Gene Stealers. Oh, sorry, an Aberrant. So we got 10, about 10 elite models. So now we're up to 90. I have 5 HQs. Pretty sure 5 HQs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 HQs. So now we're up to 97. Fast attacks, I have 15, 20, about 20. So we're up to about 117, 115, 117 roughly. So 115, let's say. And heavy support, I currently have 3. So 118 models, which again disproportionate because the amount of time it's going to take me to paint like a Lehman Russ is a lot more than it will take me to paint a Neophyte or an Acolyte. But I could probably airbrush both of them at the same time and get them done pretty fast. You know, I have an afternoon and my airbrush, I could probably get done pretty fast because I said it's just a camo pattern and then silvers and bronze and etc. So heavies, there we go. Heavy supports. So I have 120 models, and yeah, and then I have a Lord of War. So about 120 models. This brush is really split. I'm definitely gonna have to do a brush cleaning after and see if I can bend it to my will and bring it back. It's split after 50 models. So I do apologize if you can hear the sound in the background the whole time, but I'm just making do with the time I have to paint these models. And so now I'm going to get into the oranges. Wow. So I'm going to take my Griff. Oh, also one thing, this is one of the colors that I've used a lot, right? A lot of orange, and it's still up to like here. So I'm confident that this should probably, unless I spill it, will last me a very good amount, probably the whole army. So out of my 120 models, I am now, I've painted 45, about 50, I think, 50 of them. So, already, you know, and I'm only 2 weeks into my time frame. Now, once I get the elites and the HQs will take a little bit of time because they're more detailed individual models, but they shouldn't take that long, right? And yeah, so I could probably do a couple a week. So yeah, we'll see. I think I'm going to finish well ahead of my time frame. I think the 4 months was a realistic time frame to paint up a whole, new army, and it's a horde army. It's a horde army, so it takes a bit of time. We'll see. I said, I'll just keep playing it by ear, painting and having a good time, and when it gets done, it gets done. But oh my goodness, it's really cool. This is the last really big adventure of my painting of 40K models. As I said, I have a small handful of gray knights afterwards. And as you can see, the orange is really coming on. And after the orange, these models are starting to take life. They're really nice. They're starting to come alive because we're already in 4 colors in, so yeah, they're definitely. Look at this. Cool. So orange, what are we at, 40 minutes? So I should be able to finish the oranges. As you can see, the speed in which you can paint with these contrast paints. But oh my goodness. And when next time I see Dave or Stu, who knows? As I said, what army I'm going to play. I'm not trying to psych them out right now, but I'm just excited that I could have, you know, a Gene Stealer cult army. Next tournament I play in I don't know, Admech or Gene Stealer cult. I don't care if I win or lose. I just really want to play one of the armies that I've painted lately. I usually play in a tournament with each new army that I paint. I miss orcs. I miss playing with the orcs. It's the army that I've played a bit in this edition. Probably out of all the armies I own, I played the most with Tyranids and orcs this edition. And orcs are fun. Orcs are really good. I like them. They did just get Goskal Thraka recently, a new version, but I'm not going to buy him. Not until he comes out with his individual model. When he does, I'll buy the individual model. I just don't. The value doesn't appeal to me for the game, the new box set. It doesn't. It could to some players. For me, I don't really want to paint any more Primaris Marines. I really don't. And so I don't need any more. And then, so that knocks out the Space Wolf side. I definitely don't need Ragnar, or whatever his name is, Ragnar Blackmane, or, yeah. I don't need him. I just really don't. And then, the Orc side, it's a bunch of knobs, which I have tons of knobs painted, and I don't need any more. And then, it's Goskal Thraka. And so the whole box set, it has value. Like if you're a new orc player, if you are friends that are Space Wolf players, or in my case you have both a Space Marine army or Space Wolf army and an orc army, right? Like I know some people in my local meta that play both armies. They're in great shape. That's a great situation. I just don't, to me it doesn't particularly appeal to me. And because it doesn't appeal to me, I'm not buying it. Simple as that, right? You know me, I do buy some models. I've been really good until this year. I bought in a bunch, but it's mostly to flesh out these 2 armies that I'm playing, that I'm painting, and they're not gonna. It's not that situation. They're gonna sit on the shelf for a while unpainted because I'm painting them as we speak. As you can see, this Gene Stealer cult army is coming to life during this video. If we painted for, I'm pretty sure if I painted for like 2 hours. I'd have them done, or close to being done. Yeah, this guy, they're not. They're definitely a fun army to paint. I love it. Now my girlfriend's watching Leave It to Brent. Yeah. I'm loving it. Can't wait to show all the new models. I'm definitely going to paint some terrain later in the year. Some terrain will be good. He's going to have blue pants. He's done. Look at that. Next color. Next one. He fell over. He is drunk. These models definitely go together really nicely. I really like that. How nice and easy they go together. It was a pleasure putting them together after AdMech. AdMech, just so many fragile pieces that snap. I'm debating, I really do think I want to learn something. Play an instrument, pick up a sport like golf or something again. I'm anxious lately that I feel like I don't have any big certification tests coming up. I did them all. And I'm painting, and I'm having a great time painting, but I might want to try something. Maybe a new hobby. Last year I took up fishing again after a long hiatus. It's been a lot of fun, but I can't fish yet this year. So, we'll see. As I said, I'm very curious about I should pick up a new hobby as well. That'd be cool. Maybe golf. Cool. Another one done. You can see they're obviously primarily orange. These guys, when we started, they only had a flesh wash, right? Or the contrast orange, flesh. And they are now well past 3 color minimum. You know, they're at like 4 color minimum. I miss going to the movie theater, seeing new movies, you know. I miss, one of my favorite things about Peterborough is that Peterborough is a summer music series, a bunch of free concerts. And the artists are pretty good. Depending on the year, sometimes really good. Mostly Canadian, but it's been really cool. And mostly older bands that I loved when I was younger. But still, they're great concerts for free. This year it's canceled, which really hurts my heart. I was really looking forward to it this year. So, of course, I understand why they're canceled, but still, just so. Look at him. So, you tell me he's not looking. I really do like these contrast paints, and I have plenty of more paint. I was really concerned that during this pandemic I wasn't going to be able to get paint. But that just hasn't been the case. I have needed it, and as I said, after these guys, I'm done 55 of my 80 troops. Which is great, 55 of the 80, and the Brood Brothers, I'm going to paint an army camo color, so they won't be the standard. Maybe I'll paint them the orange. That makes sense. We'll see. I was just thinking about maybe painting them army, but Look at that. So, just paint a little sloppily, but still, I'm going to clean up the next step and then go again with the blue and then black. And then I just paint the silvers and a couple other colors. And yeah. 2020. The year the Earth stands still. Look at that. Blue pants. Yeah. So that, another one. I like this. This is awesome. Where are we at? 50 minutes. So I'll probably finish after this, I guess. This is a good time to finish. But in the 50 minutes, I have 10 models that you've seen there, right? 10 models. And I've gotten a good amount of painting done. As I said, I bet if we did a 2-hour episode, which I just don't have the energy to tonight, unfortunately. It's downside when I'm painting late at night. I bet if we painted for like 2 hours together tonight, I would have almost got these entirely done. Maybe not entirely done, but they started out just, you know, one color on them primed earlier today, and now they're almost done. You know, it's fantastic. There's still, you know, a few more colors to go, obviously, but it's nice knowing that I don't have. Then I got to start building a bunch of acolytes. And the question is, do I want to go flamer bomb or chainsaw bomb, or combination of the two bombs? In the meantime, because the rules of the game might be changing as we speak soon, so. Yeah. All right, so. Cool. Yeah, as I said, I don't know. But this is fun. I really enjoy it. I don't find painting with contrast paints mindless. I think it's just fun. Like, again, you get the sense of accomplishment. The amount of work that paint you can put onto a model is substantial in a short period of time, and that's what they're designed to do. It looks nice. As I said, am I expecting to win Best Painted in a tournament? No. Am I going to be proud to have these at a tournament? Yes. Yeah, and look at that. That is nice. As I said, I get these done. There's no way these will be done. Sorry, I'll still be working on these next painting with Jay. Get them all done and get to the next group, the Acolytes. Paint them for maybe 2 weeks, a week or two. Because with them, I'll still have 15 more to paint. And here's basically what the Acolytes will look like. These are one of my finished Acolytes, but I'm going to go lighter on the skin, I think, maybe. I like the eyes being yellow. I'm going to paint that definitely metallic, because I don't like that. And the swords, the gun, the weapons, they're definitely going metallic. So I'm going to repaint and that'll be, I'm going to repaint that as well, leather. So I'm going to repaint the 5 that I've already painted. They're going to get a slight upgrade in paint job while I paint the other 15. I just haven't decided yet what 15 I'm going to build them as. Maybe all flamers. By that point, maybe the next big announcement, well, sorry, they're not going to announce the rules, but obviously the next edition's got to be coming in the near future because it's been a few years. It's got to be coming soon. But man, these paints last. As I said, I'm 50 models in, and I'm not concerned at all right now. I'm pretty certain this one paint pot, this one group of paints will last me my entire army. That is really cool. Really cool. So they're a little bit on the more expensive side, but they take up more. They do more. You know, it's much one paint. It takes up multiple spots in the process, and it's very thin. Like it's just using it's like the inks, right? And so they go in really thin, and because they're really thin, you can they last, right? They don't go as they're not clumpy. You don't need to thin it down. I do thin down some of my paints. I love the contrast medium. It's awesome. Look at that. And so, in the end, here's what a finished, you know, Neophyte will look like. As you can see, the basing scheme is pretty simple. I just use I love it, the granite debris, and it looks good. And in the end, it was not too hard of a process. This is a finished model. I'm happy to play with these guys. They look pretty fun. And this is what the models look like right now after this painting with Jay. So I'm done, you know, 4 colors on this guy. Next I'm going to paint the pants, and then the boots, and then the metallics. Do the details on the face, then they're done. So blue, black, silver, bronze, face. And they're all done. Cool. And so let's end here. So that concludes another Painting with Jay. I really hope you got some stuff done too and you're enjoying your spring. It's almost summer, I guess. As you can see, in that 1 hour I got some good amount of painting done with the contrast paints. And next I'm going to come back in with the next couple colors and just keep going. As I said, I'm well on my way. Yeah, I'm just going to keep going. You know, they'll be done in the next few days. And on to the next part. I'm really excited to get all my models painted, and I have a fully painted Gene Stealer Cult army. It's going to be amazing. I really hope you're staying healthy and safe in internet land and making as much time to paint as you can. I hope you're ridding your world of unpainted models as well. So stay tuned for more Painting with Jay. As always, this video is brought to you by my Patreon campaign. Link in the description below if you want to help support my videos. Stay tuned, more Painting with Jay. As you can see, their names go in my head. I can't thank them enough. Adam, you missed this spot once again. Stay tuned for another Painting with Jay. Until next time, Jay saying happy painting with me.